Okay, welcome to our ServiceNow HBCU Connect hiring event. I'm super excited about this opportunity because the format for this event is going to be a little bit different. You guys are going to have access to a couple of candidates that now work with ServiceNow, have done internships with ServiceNow as a result of attending one of our events just like this. So we're super excited to introduce you to Guy and Blaze, which we'll get into here shortly. But a little bit of housekeeping. What I want to do is first introduce myself, then I'm going to introduce Chris Rogers with ServiceNow, and then we will have a conversation with our panelists who are Guy DeWeaver Jr. and Blaze Davenport. So first, a little bit about myself. My name is Will Moss. I am the CEO of HBCU Connect. I am very proud to be a part of this event, to have all of you that have made the smart decision to take advantage of coming to meet members of the ServiceNow team. I have to give a big shout out and big kudos to the ServiceNow team because they have a very large number of team members that have volunteered their time to come here to talk to you and to share their opportunities with you, which could lead to an internship or a job after graduation. And we have proof positive of that with Guy and Blaze here with us as well. So a little bit about myself. Hampton graduate, computer science background, launched HBCU Connect in 1999 as sort of a social network for alumni and then students of HBCUs. Fast forward to today, we work with thousands of companies to help them bring opportunities to students and graduates of the HBCUs, but then expanding upon that to help them reach not only students and graduates from HBCUs, but also diverse students and professionals from a Latinx background, African American background, and beyond. So that brings us to this opportunity today with ServiceNow. There's a targeted diversity recruitment event to provide you with opportunities with ServiceNow, a great company. So you're going to learn a little bit more about ServiceNow and what those opportunities can look like. So this is a really, like I said, this is a really special opportunity because you guys are in an intimate environment where you can introduce yourselves. You'll have the opportunity, once we get to our breakout sessions, you have the opportunity to turn on your video. Like I said, introduce yourself, ask questions, meet the team members, and really take advantage of this unique opportunity. So let me run through the agenda really quick, and then I'll introduce Chris and then our panelists. First thing, like I said, wanted to give that quick welcome. Then we'll go into our panel discussion after I introduce Chris Rogers with ServiceNow. After our panel discussion, briefly introduce the team members that will be in each of the breakout sessions, and then we will get into the meat and potatoes of this event, which will be those breakout sessions to allow you the opportunity to meet one-on-one or in a small group session to ask questions, like I said, to introduce yourselves and take advantage of this opportunity. Then once we come out of the breakout sessions, then we will talk about next steps for you post-event to land a potential internship or career with ServiceNow. All right, so with that being said, let me go ahead and introduce Chris Rogers, our point person at ServiceNow. So Chris, if you'd like to introduce yourself, a little bit about what you do at ServiceNow, and maybe give them a high level of what ServiceNow is.
Yeah, welcome everyone. I'm Chris Rogers. My title is Senior Program Manager for Diversity and Inclusion. Been with ServiceNow over a year now. And this journey, this rocket ship, what we like to call it, has been exciting. Just being able to provide diverse talent to ServiceNow. Some of you guys on the call, maybe your first time hearing about ServiceNow. That's okay. When you get into the breakout room, they're going to tell you what we do, how exciting it is, our culture, and our role and responsibility. But we're a software ticketing company based in Silicon Valley. And like I say, I don't really want to spend too much time talking about what I do. I want to hear from my past interns and let you guys hear from the horse's mouth itself. So I'm going to kick it back to you, Will.
Okay, cool. So I have to give a big shout out and thank you to Chris for the beats because they got me in that animated mood before we get started. So I've been very impressed, first of all, with ServiceNow as a company because as you all might know, as students at HBCUs or diverse students at colleges or graduates from all over the country, that you may see some companies that pop up and are there at a career fair or there, to shake hands, and then you never hear from them again. But once we started working with ServiceNow, I believe it's been over almost going on 2 years now, with ServiceNow, they have been dedicated to making sure that they provide opportunities to our particular candidates and our audience. So, with that being said, we have proof positive of, their efforts to bring in diverse candidates and specifically candidates from events like this. So let me go ahead and introduce our special guests and our panelists that we're going to just have a discussion with before we get into the breakout sessions. And that will be Blaze Davenport and Guy DeWeaver Jr. So what I'd like to do is just have you each introduce yourselves one by one. We'll start with ladies first. So Blaze, if you'd like to introduce yourself, maybe tell us where you're from, where you went to college, and then what you're doing at ServiceNow.
Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Blaze Davenport, and I'm from PG County, Maryland, and I study at Virginia State University. I'm an MIS major, which is Management Information Systems. I also minor in Cybersecurity and Forensics. And during this past summer at ServiceNow, I worked as a technical support intern. So basically what I was doing, I was working closely with the technical support engineers, resolving customer ticketing, technical support, and just a variety of global support projects. But my experience with ServiceNow has been phenomenal.
What's your major at VSU?
I'm sorry, yeah, MIS, Management Information Systems. Yep.
Okay, sorry about that. I want to make sure the candidates heard her major and what her role was. So you were in, was it technical support?
Yes, technical support. Mm-hmm.
Internship. Now, are you a graduating senior or are you coming back for another internship?
I will be returning with another internship during the summer. I'm currently a junior.
Okay, excellent. So nice to meet you, Blaze. And our next panelist is Guy DeWeaver Jr. Do you go by Junior or the second?
The second.
Okay, Guy DeWeaver the second. Welcome, Guy. Tell us where you're from, what schools you attended, because I understand you're an MBA intern. So give us a little bit of your background and what you're doing at ServiceNow.
Yeah, so I was born in DC, grew up Northern Virginia, attended Virginia State University with Blaze. So that was great. CVSU was in the house. And now I'm currently a dual degree graduate student at Johns Hopkins. I'm getting my MBA in addition to a master's in design thinking. When I was at ServiceNow over the summer, I was on the Inspire Value team. Essentially, it was a sales function. I got to work with a whole bunch of really cool projects that had broad exposure, and just got to do some really cool stuff, and really enjoyed my summer there. And obviously, the MBA, well, my MBA is a 2-year program, so I had the internship with ServiceNow and have accepted my return offer. So I'll be back full time starting in June.
Awesome! Congratulations to you both. So I want to kick it off with a question that a lot of students I think wonder about, it's like, and that is, what is the interview process like there at ServiceNow? So you guys can kind of tell us the story. For those of you that maybe just jumped on the call, Guy and Blaze were candidates from our past events that happened to land internship opportunities with ServiceNow, and they're sharing their experiences with us. So Blaze, if you'd like to tell us a little bit about what you remember related to the interview process with ServiceNow.
Sure. So from what I remember, it started out with my recruiter. So basically, he was telling me about the roles, trying to get an understanding of my background, who I am, to see which position that he would believe that I would, fit the best for. After that, based off that conversation, I moved forward with the interview process with the hiring managers. So when I was working with ServiceNow, I was working on a variety of teams, one being quality assurance, so that's customer support, the other team being AST technology, and the third team being process optimization. So I had a 30-minute interview with each of those hiring managers of different teams, and my experience, it was very conversational, and I really appreciated that because it made me feel more at ease, just speaking about my technical expertise and generally why I would be a good candidate for the role.
Awesome. So Guy, can you tell us a little bit about your story and how you got your foot in the door in your interview process?
Yeah, well, I mean, as you mentioned, it all started here. I attended this HBCU CONNECT ServiceNow event a lot later in the semester. I think I attended one in like April, right? So everyone in here is already months and months ahead of me. Started with this, got to connect with some people on the calls in the breakout room, sent pretty much everybody a LinkedIn request, ended up connecting with Ava, who's in the chat, and had my first like informational interview with her. It was about 15 minutes. And then got to move on to a more formal interview process. It was 3 rounds with 3 people that actually ended up being my managers once I did get brought on. But they were all behavioral based, and like Blaze said, just pretty conversational. I really felt like they were just trying to get to know me and just wanted to make sure I was a good fit and could do the job. But it wasn't the dreaded 5 rounds and 5-month interview process. It was pretty seamless for me.
Awesome. So I want you guys as candidates to take note. Guy took advantage of the breakout sessions and connecting and networking with folks via LinkedIn that helped push him along through the process for showing that initiative. So kudos to you both for getting it done. So my next question is about, obviously we're in COVID-19. ServiceNow is a very progressive company. I have been very impressed with some of the benefits and perks of their internships. So a lot of times students want to know, are they paid internships? Then the second thing they want to know is where the internships located. So Blaze, if you'd like to kick us off with, where was your internship hosted physically? Was it, work from home or at a ServiceNow location?
Yeah, so my internship, much like all the other interns during this past summer, it was virtual. So we were working remotely. And if we were supposed to be in the office, we were going to be in California. But I really enjoyed being home and just having that experience. And I feel like ServiceNow, they did a really good job at making me adjust very well, as well as everybody else. But I had a great experience even being at home, and it superseded my expectations.
So what was this your first time having an internship or job working from home?
Yes, it actually was. And I had some like doubts about it, but actually when I was like getting through the process, and it went really well.
Awesome, awesome. So Guy, what about yourself? Where were you located? And then what was that experience like?
Yeah, I was at home. My internship was 100% virtual, and the experience was nice. My whole team is actually a virtual team. So everyone on my team was up and down the East Coast, from Jersey over like Tennessee, down. I think we had a couple people in Florida as well. So it was pretty diverse, pretty spread out team. And the role that I'm coming back to was also 100% remote. So it was really a good opportunity for me to see what it would actually be like to do that in a full-time capacity.
Awesome. So my follow-up question for you, Guy, and then I'll shoot the same question to you, Blaze, is what are some of the benefits that you've seen so far since interning with ServiceNow?
Yeah, I mean, so about a month after my internship ended, someone from like Microsoft reached out to me about a full-time role. And I'm someone that's been trying to get into tech really since I got to college, and I haven't been able to get any traction. ServiceNow is my first tech internship, right? And but having it on my resume, and it really not even my resume because I didn't apply, just having it on my LinkedIn and talking about my experience at ServiceNow, obviously made me more marketable with tech companies. Now, when Microsoft reached out, I was negotiating, my package with ServiceNow, so didn't even feel like I needed to engage in that conversation with Microsoft. But it was it definitely, I would say, has made me a lot more marketable in the industry.
Yeah, definitely. I would have to agree with you, Guy. Like, just ServiceNow being a tech company, being like one of the most progressive tech companies, almost everybody's using the product. So just in that sense, that's a really big benefit. And my experience with ServiceNow, I feel like they were very open to who you are. They wanted you to bring your unique self, no matter what that looks like. And they really celebrated like who you are, being, if it's your race, ethnicity, gender, disabilities, anything like that. There were so many groups to support you and your differences, and you had, a friend to lean on every walk of the way. So
were there any pleasant surprises, after you started at ServiceNow, or as you were going through that process of being recruited?
Yeah, there were some pleasant surprises. I don't know if they're gonna do this today, but I know at some of the other events, like recruiting events that ServiceNow has, they talked about just some of the benefits that interns get, right? And I don't know if they're doing some of the same ones again, so I don't know if I can speak on those, but once we started, right? So I already knew about all these great benefits, 401k matching, different things like that. And, once I got there, actually, they instituted a totally new policy, which they did, they called it Recharge Fridays, I believe. So every Friday was a half day over the last summer, right? So, I mean, that was something that it was half day and it was a paid half day, right? So, or a paid full day for a half day, right? So that was super cool and something that I didn't even expect. It was a great surprise that I think it came straight from the top from Bill McDermott. It was awesome. So something I definitely wanted to speak on.
Yeah, and there was things like they would give you merch like ServiceNow, they called it ServiceNow swag. So that was really cool. And then I also had this opportunity, I've never done this before, but it was called a hackathon. And I liked how ServiceNow allowed people who weren't, software engineers or, programmers to participate in this event. So I had people like Tony, and he was very helpful during this process and getting me assimilated with everything that I was going to be working on. So that was amazing.
That actually,
go ahead.
I was gonna say that actually reminds me. I mean, there were just so many opportunities for you to connect with other interns, other full-time employees. I mean, we had chocolate tastings. We did like a wine tasting for the MBA interns. I actually got a chance to interview.
No, it's fine.
Make sure you're on mute. So we
I actually got a chance to interview one of the VPs of the company, which I posted about on my LinkedIn. So I mean, it just seemed like it was a gift that kept on giving. There's so many opportunities for me to connect and just get more and more exposure. And that's not something I was expecting, but it's definitely something that I was grateful for and still am.
Awesome. So I don't want to skip over something really important to a lot of students out there. Because I know when I was a student, I didn't know how I was going to pay for college. So for me, I had to, when I came, actually I had to work not only in the summer, but I also had to work during school year. So I want to know, you guys don't have to tell us how much you get paid, but are the internships paid internships?
Yes, they are paid in very generous pay.
Yeah.
I'd say that.
Paid very well. Sure.
Yeah, I remember speaking to Guy earlier. He had a nice smile on his face when we were discussing his offer. So yeah. Awesome. So let me ask a next question I find interesting is, have you had any chance to connect with any mentors or any managers or folks to help guide you along the way so far in your internship? So I'll default this one to Guy first and then Blaze.
Yeah, I mean, I think I just got lucky. I mean, I'm sure it's a culture thing, right? And ServiceNow just has a great culture. Everybody that I connected with was just so open to help. I mean, from my direct, bosses to people that I met at we've got the Black It Now group, right? Which is the Black employee resource group. I got to just connect with so many people, and everyone was just always open and willing to give, their time and their expertise. And then even before I got there, right, I got to connect with Chris and a bunch of other people via LinkedIn. And even before I was officially an intern, I mean, people were just so willing and ready to pour into me just as an applicant and, as a young adult. So there's definitely those opportunities, and I've tried to make the most of them.
Awesome. Blaze?
Yeah, I would piggyback off of what Guy said, because pretty much everybody was there, just, a shoulder to lean on. Like, I had a really good relationship with all of my managers, Chris, people like Tony in the hackathon, early in career team. And it was just a phenomenal experience. And especially being a part of the DIBS table talk. And I really liked how my managers would work around me being able to attend those events, because they were very helpful, just being able to connect and network with people who were, like me in ServiceNow, and just recognizing my Blackness in a tech company.
Can either of you speak to what those DIBS table talks are? Because that sounds like something unique to ServiceNow.
So it's kind of like ServiceNow really values diversity and inclusion. So like I was saying before, it's just a space for people to come together and share their own unique experiences being a minority in a tech company. And it's just an awesome, just place to connect, really.
Yeah, and it was open to, it was both interns there and full-time employees. And, they brought speakers in, and we just did a whole bunch of just cool stuff. And it's just great to be, in those types of spaces. I know tech, unfortunately, has a stereotype, and honestly, it's a bit of reality depending on which company you're at, that, it's not diverse. And whenever you're in a space or at a company that really values diversity and does and shows you that they value diversity, it's really impactful. So, but those are great sessions. We had them all throughout the summer, and definitely that was a great experience.
Awesome. So what I'd like to get into next is sort of the meat and potatoes. So if you were speaking to another student on campus, right, and you were to explain to them what was your internship like at ServiceNow and what did you actually have to do, like talk us through, sort of a day in the life as an intern at ServiceNow, what would you say to another student considering ServiceNow? So Blaze, I'll let you answer this one first.
I'm actually going to ask you a question. Do you mean specific to my role or just generically speaking?
To your role, like the meat and
Okay.
potatoes of day in the life.
Okay. Yeah. So I was a technical support intern, and I pretty much shadowed the technical support engineers, and we worked on ticketing. Basically, that's when a customer submits a ticket. Maybe they have a problem with something in the ServiceNow platform. So we would resolve their issues. I was working on GSPs. Those are global support projects. Worked in flow design. Like I was working a variety of teams. So the AST team, I was working flow designer, learning a lot about like the technology background behind ServiceNow, and the process team and the quality assurance team. I was actually a part of this really cool pilot. It was called case monitoring. And that was a way to just, it was a pilot designated to making sure that the TSCs, which are technical support engineers, were accurately treating each customer's ticket with the care, like say they had a meaningful first response or they had timely updates, things like that. So we would kind of like judge and rate our TSCs basically on the quality of their work with the customers, because we value customer satisfaction.
Did you have to go through any training before you got started, actually working on the product?
Oh yeah, there was training all throughout my internship, but they gave us time to, go through the training and everything. It just worked really well.
Awesome. Guy, what was it like for you as an intern with ServiceNow?
Yeah, I mean, I had a bit of a unique experience. I know a lot of the interns at ServiceNow had like one project, right, that they worked on for the entire summer and just kept, ticking away at that. And some people got to see it to completion, and some people just passed it on, which is a great experience. But what I did, I was able to work on a whole bunch of different projects to kind of have my hands in a lot of things. My managers were just really understanding. They knew that this was my first tech internship, and I said that a lot in my interview process. And and they understood that I wanted to learn. I wanted to learn about ServiceNow. I wanted to learn what it was like to work at a tech company. So whenever there was something that interested me, and I told them that I would love to try this out, they really gave me some free rein to go ahead and do that. So the day-to-day was probably working on and have my hands in about 4 different projects, on a daily basis. So it was really about time management. But I think that they appreciated that. And I know it was a great experience for me to be able to really just learn and absorb as much as I can in the short 12 weeks that I was there. You're on mute, Will.
Quick follow-up question. What was the most challenging thing? Because a lot of interns might be looking, maybe they're in between their junior and senior year, and they want their last internship to be something challenging. So were there anything that you can think of that was a challenge there as a part of your assignment with ServiceNow?
Yes. So, I think I have a lot of skills, but one thing that I'm not great at is I'm not a numbers guy. And I know there was one project where I was given an Excel spreadsheet with about 100,000 entries, right? And I was supposed to go through that and find trends and just dissect it and then give a presentation about what, just give a presentation about my findings. And unfortunately, I mean, when my when my boss gave it to me, he was like, I'm giving you 2 weeks for this project. If you worked here full time, you'd probably get to the end of the week on it, So I'm thinking, okay, well, I'll get it done in a week and, impress them. I was working on that thing for the entire summer, and it It's okay. I think, we connected a lot. We talked about it a lot. He understood where I was getting stuck at. Some of the things weren't my fault. Some of the things, it was just taking me a bit longer to really grasp some of the concepts about how they do things in ServiceNow. So, I mean, that was definitely one of the toughest things. And because of that, I was really nervous that I wouldn't get a return offer. But I think, I was able to just communicate, we were talking about it. And again, so, it's not always about finishing, and it's not always about doing something right, but talking to him through my thought process and us stay on the same page really helped, I think, me make it through that situation.
Blaze, do you have anything to share?
Yeah, so my most challenging, but also my most rewarding project was when I worked on the hackathon, and I was the only technical support intern on the team. I was working with software engineers, and we were trying to create this virtual box. So that has a lot of coding and a lot of flow design, things that I wasn't as familiar with. So it was a lot of learning and time spent on my behalf on researching so that I can be a better assistance to the team. But what I learned, it's not as much as what you know, it's more of, are you willing to learn? That's what they recognize, and that's key in basically getting a return offer or not.
Awesome.
Glad to be here today.
So to our candidates, make sure you stay on mute. We're allowing you to be able to unmute because you're going to be able to do that in the breakout sessions, but please make sure to stay on mute until we get finished here. So my last question for you, Blaze and Guy, that is, what advice can you offer candidates interviewing for internships with ServiceNow to maximize their chances of being hired? And so, Guy, when we spoke and we did our little quick 5-minute video, I was very impressed with what you shared around the research that you did on ServiceNow that had you excited about the opportunity. So, any advice you like to share with candidates if they're getting prepared to interview with ServiceNow?
Yeah, I mean, I think that ServiceNow is still, it's not a household name yet, right? I mean, Google's household name, Facebook's household name. So not understanding everything about the company when you're first learning about it is fine, obviously, but just continue to do research about the company. When I first heard about ServiceNow, probably about a year ago now, I wasn't familiar with it, but by the time I got to my interviews, I knew the basics of the company. I could talk some of the facts. So one, I would say definitely research the company and make sure you have that understanding. My second main point is make sure that you guys leverage LinkedIn. Now, that could be connecting with the people in this on this call, including myself, but it could also be, connecting with people that are in the full-time roles that you want to get into when you go to ServiceNow. I know I typically try to do that. That's one of the things that I've tried to make part of my standard practice when I'm applying to a position is connect with some people at the company and, try to get some information about the role, about the company, about the culture, et cetera, that way. And one thing that I will say about ServiceNow is that people actually got back to me a lot more often than I was expecting them to, right? When I did similar things with IBM, if I reached out to 10 people, I might hear back from 1 or 2. At ServiceNow, I reached out to 10 people and heard back from 9. So I guess it's just the culture here. Everyone just is so down to earth. Everyone is just so open and willing to help. So make sure that you leverage that and take advantage of it.
So before I get to Blaze on this, Guy, when you did that research and so when we had our conversation, you seem to be excited about the opportunity to work for ServiceNow. What is it that you learned when you were researching ServiceNow that got you excited about going through the process?
Yeah, I mean, they're on a rocket ship. I know Chris said it a few minutes ago, but I mean, it's the truth. ServiceNow has so much potential, and getting in on the ground, not the ground floor, but on a company that's still just flying straight in the air is just such a dope opportunity for you to elevate your career, right? To get experience in a company like this. Obviously, I think most of us know that tech companies obviously come with RSUs most of the time, so you can cash in that way. But I was just really excited to get in with a company that is doing all the super cool things that ServiceNow is doing, and to get to be along for the ride.
Awesome. So Blaze, would you like to share any advice that you might have for candidates preparing to interview with ServiceNow?
Yeah, so mine's not too much, but I would really say just be solid in who you are and what you bring to the table and be proud of that, because that confidence will radiate, and your uniqueness, that is what really is going to bring add value to the company. So like I was saying before, you don't have to know everything, but be able to learn. And because that's basically the purpose of this opportunity, it's the purpose of getting an internship, purpose of getting jobs, so you can learn and be better and better yourself. So be eager to learn, ask for more work, ask to shadow other people, network, all the above.
Awesome. Excellent. So so we're a little bit ahead of schedule. Chris, I'm gonna, hand it over to you if you wanted to, hit on any touch points with Guy or Blaze. And then we'll prepare for introducing our breakout rooms to our candidates.
Well, I have a couple questions, but my boss Shake on the call, and Shake, I'm gonna put you on the spot because I know I would love Shake to ask you guys a question. If is he still on? I don't know. There's a lot of people on here. I don't know if I see him. Shake, you there?
You're killing me, man. I'm hiding. That's the whole point of turning off my camera.
No, I gotta put you on the spot because I do the work, but like Shake, you behind the scenes, like talking to two of our past interns from doing this program. I just want to kind of open it up and let you ask a question first, and I kind of come back behind. So,
Well, I don't know if I have any questions. I think, like honestly, from where I sit, and I was texting Chris, I was like, you guys had an amazing experience at ServiceNow, which is the standard that we've set, right? Like if you go out and you recruit, we want to make sure you have an amazing experience, so you want to come back, but more importantly, that like you're going to tell people ServiceNow is amazing. And I think that's what I'm hearing. So from my side, it's like, I was telling Chris, I'm like jumping up and down over here. It's like all these things that you guys hear were ideas like a year and a half ago, right? Like we didn't recruit from HBCUs, right? Like we didn't do any of this recruiting. We didn't do Divs Table Talk. I remember telling Chris, like when they get here, that's the easy part, but we want them to feel like they belong here and we want them to come back. So what can we do to make sure while they're here, they have an amazing experience? So all these things that you hear were ideas just a year and a half ago that like now we did an okay job on. So I don't know. From where I sit, you guys are much better at talking about ServiceNow than I am. So I don't have any questions. I mean, Guy and Blaze, like you're hired. Like next customer call we got to go on. I'm putting you up front to talk about ServiceNow.
Awesome.
Yeah. No, that's exciting. That's exciting. And then also too, Shay, just so you know, from Guy and Blaze, they both have sent me like 5 other resumes from their friends. So that's the ultimate like flattery, right? Like they're referring their friends, and so yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, like I say, I don't want to waste too much time, but I can talk all day. I can be long-winded. What really came here to do to get to know other candidates. So I would love to get ready to segue into the breakout rooms next, so you guys can kind of like get to know ServiceNow, and then we also get to know you as well, and then you guys can hopefully apply, and then try to get you guys through the door.
Perfect. Okay, so as we get ready for the breakout rooms, to our candidates, make sure you're in a quiet place. If you like to turn on your video, you can do that, once you get into the breakout rooms. But what I wanted to do quickly is ask the ServiceNow team members that will be in these breakout rooms, if you could all turn on your video. And we're a little bit ahead of schedule. We've got like we're 3 minutes.
Hold on, Will.
Sure.
I just realized something. Before we do breakout rooms, can we get a picture? I almost forgot. We need to get a picture.
Let's do it.
Let's do it because we're ahead of schedule. I need to get a picture.
So to all our candidates, if you'd like to turn on your video feed, we like to get a group picture of everyone's smiling face.
Yeah. Oh, you got to stop sharing your screen, I think, Will. Oh.
Okay, let me stop share.
Yeah, sorry guys, gotta get the picture. We don't have the picture, it didn't happen. So it's rule number 1, dibs that product. Must get a picture, must get a photo.
Okay, how's that?
Gallery. Everybody got the camera on. Oh man, there's a lot of pretty faces on here today. All right. I'm gonna take a couple. 1, 2, 3. Cheese. All right, I gotta do a couple more. On my man in the car like that, my man dedicated. That's what I'm talking about. Get right. 1, 2, 3. All right.
Cool.
One more for the road, just in case I might have missed somebody. All right. Whoa. There we go. 1, 2, 3. There we go. We're good to go. All right. So on you, Will.
Okay, so for the breakout rooms, let me share my screen really quick so you guys can have an idea of what room and what opportunities there are. You can actually join the room of your choice based on your interest and your background. But to quickly go over those rooms, and again, to our ServiceNow team members, if you like to turn on your video, I don't know if we have time to do intros of everyone, but once you get into those breakout rooms, you guys on the ServiceNow team, of course, can introduce yourselves and your roles at ServiceNow, and then also to our candidates, you can introduce yourselves and ask questions. So what I will ask you to do as candidates, if you're using Zoom, use the raise hand feature, and then to our ServiceNow team members, you can just look out for those folks raising their hand. Or if you're not sure how to use the raise hand feature, which is a reaction in Zoom, then please use the chat. And to our ServiceNow team members, please keep an eye on the chat within the breakout room so that you can help answer the questions from our students that are here with us. But very quickly to go over the different rooms, we've got product management and MBA candidates. We've got technical writing and content. We've got software and software engineering. We've got IT, software and support, finance, UX, UI design, and
Hey,
then
Will,
sales. Yep.
just a quick highlight on the UX, UI design. That's also going to include research and design program management as well.
Perfect. So
And content design.
Oh, and content design. I almost bunched them into design. Good call, Karen.
A lot of things fall under there.
Yeah.
awesome. So
Hey,
Chris,
Sean and Carol, can you guys talk about what that is so people know what you mean by content design?
Sure. Yeah, so it's also sometimes known as UX writing. So when you're thinking about creating software interfaces, all the words that go on those screens, that's what UX writing is all about. So we work shoulder to shoulder with both visual designers and product designers and UX researchers to craft the best experience for our users.
awesome.
So all the smart people go in that room.
Cool. Okay, so Chris and I will hang out in the main lobby in case if you're dialing in from a phone and you can't get into a room, we'll help get you into the rooms. But right about now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the breakout room so that you guys can go ahead and jump into the rooms. But what you will see is an option within Zoom called Breakout Rooms. Then you can click on that, and then you can choose to go into the room of your choice. Same thing for the ServiceNow team, as well as our candidates. And then anyone that's having trouble, we can help reassign you to those rooms. And to the HBCU Connect team, Reggie, Tamika, if you guys can kind of hover around the different rooms to help out, I'd appreciate it. So Chris and I will be here though to help out.
May I also add, if anybody has any trouble turning on their video, we may have turned it off for you, and you would need to notify us to turn it back on for you. So just let us know if you're unable to turn on your video.
Yeah, just send me a message, direct message in the chat or to Reggie Culpepper. Okay. All right, so the breakout rooms are now open. So please click on the breakout button and then choose the appropriate room. And let me go over those rooms real quick. We've got product management MBA. We've got software engineering. We've got UX, UI, design, research, and content. We've got technical writing and content. Let's see what else. IT, software, and support. Folks are moving into the rooms quick. We've got sales and we've got finance. So please choose the appropriate room. If you want to move around in different rooms, especially if there are some rooms with less people so that you can have more of a chance to connect and have conversations with the ServiceNow team, feel free to do that. All right, so if anyone needs any help getting reassigned to a room, please drop it in the chat.
Hey, as we get everybody to come back to the room, please feel free.
What had happened? I was in the middle of something.
Oh, we gave you the countdown.
You want to finish? Go ahead, Jalen.
Okay, I was talking about
I was in the
sales.
middle of getting that sauce, man.
You was giving it a sauce.
I was talking about sales. But anyways,
I was in the middle of getting that sauce.
Now y'all got
it's
to
okay. We'll connect offline. I'll answer your question. I think how you say your name, is it Trajan?
It's Trajan, yeah.
Trajan. Okay, I'm gonna put my LinkedIn in here and let's connect and we can talk all things sales for sure.
Awesome, thank you.
No problem.
I think she should finish that with the group.
Yeah, I was. You got me on the hook with that, Jalen.
Oh, let's go, Jalen. Let's finish.
Yeah, you got to convince
can you pause the music
to come to the sales team now.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say that one, sales is a great foot in the door for any business because you have the opportunity to learn how different lines of business works, how everything kind of interconnects in order to deliver to a customer. So,
Oh, Wi-Fi, broadband.
so that thing is for sales. The second thing is that everybody that I know that started in sales, I started at a cohort with another company that had about 115 people in it. I've seen people go into consulting. I've seen people go and get certified and have more of a technology focus. I've seen people go into marketing. I've seen them go into operations.
Oh no, she was really excited about that.
She was getting into the good stuff.
I know.
What happened?
The devil
Man, somebody don't want you to be great. They don't want you to be great.
She back, Jalen?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, what's the last thing y'all heard?
About the cohort, 115 people, and then they went to consulting and other roles, and we lost it.
Oh, yes. So I was just going to end that by saying that they developed the soft skills that can take them anywhere else in a corporation and let them be successful. You have to have good interpersonal skills when you're a salesperson. You have to have good communication skills. You have to understand processes. And so even me, myself, I started in sales. Now I'm in HR. I do talent acquisition. I don't sell software anymore, but everything that I learned in my sales profession has carried me in my career today. So I say all that to say I could go on and on and on about the benefits of being a salesperson, because it really takes some grit and grind. You're going to have high highs where you're making money and getting like $30,000 paychecks. And then you're going to have some days where you don't even know if you're going to keep your job and you.
Jalen, you
have to be the
yeah. I think you're so right, Jalen. And to add to that, if you go and just look up any of your favorite companies, look at the VPs at that company, look at the C-suite of that company, look at the CEOs. They're going to all have started more than likely in sales.
Awesome insight. This is what you get when you come to a ServiceNow event. Like this is why we really value you guys coming. You have a chance to connect, have conversations, learn, get some insight, build relationships. So don't forget, to reach out to the ServiceNow folks via LinkedIn. But that leads us to where we are now, and that is a little bit about next steps. So Chris, I'm going to hand it over to you. But then, I know you like the volunteer shake also for maybe closing out. But Chris, go ahead and share whatever you like to share as far as next steps.
Yeah, I want to kind of say, just like the sales team, they try to come and take all the talent, right? One, I would say they have a true point. But if you build the product, you own the company. So the engineers are in the house. So I want to say that, but no, major shout out to our sales team, major shout out to our finance team, our UX designer, UX team, technical writers, everybody who joined the call today. I hope you learned something today. Our team is truly amazing. We look forward for you guys applying. We look forward to hearing you guys' feedback. So I'm going to drop the survey in here because just like in these roles and these jobs, you can't do nothing without feedback. Your opinion matters to us. So good or bad, or whatever you thought about it, rate us, let us know, because we want to get better. So that's how we look at things at ServiceNow. And like I say, everybody that was in your group, feel free to reach out to them on LinkedIn, ping us, and tell your friends. We got tons of roles, tons of opportunity. We want to hire over 300 interns across our entire company. So it's tons of opportunities here. And like I said, we're growing just high level. Last year, we was at 12,000 employees. This year, we're at 15,000 employees. So during the pandemic, we have hired 3,000 people. And so I love it here. Look forward to you guys trying to join us. Take care.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you guys coming. We'll get the recording together as well as some links for you to apply, and we will send those over to you via email. Take care.